Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed by a wave of emotions, but couldn't quite put your finger on what that feeling was? Or maybe you felt a jumble of emotions all at once, leaving you confused and unsure how to respond. Understanding our emotions is a fundamental step in learning to manage them effectively. In dialectical behavior therapy, the emotion regulation module provides skills to help you understand and change your emotions so they don't control you. A crucial starting point in this module is the skill of understanding emotions, specifically identifying and describing what you're feeling. Why is it so important to understand our emotions? Emotions are powerful signals. They provide valuable information about ourselves, our environment, and our needs. They can motivate us, alert us to danger, or help us connect with others. However, if we don't understand what we're feeling, responding skillfully to that information is challenging. We might get swept away by intense feelings or try to push them away, which is not effective in the long run. Learning to identify and describe your emotions helps to clarify your inner experience. It's the first step from being controlled by your feelings to having more choices in responding to them. You can become like a detective to identify an emotion, looking for clues. Check in with your body. What physical sensations are you noticing? For example, a tight chest, tense shoulders, or butterflies in your stomach. These can often point to specific emotions. Check in with your thoughts. What is going through your mind? For example, thoughts of unfairness, worry, or hopelessness. Your thoughts are often linked to your emotions. Check in with your urges. What do you feel like doing? For example, the urge to withdraw, the desire to yell, or the urge to hide. Urges are often associated with particular emotions. Consider the prompting event. What happened before you started feeling this way? The situation or event can help you understand the emotion it triggered. Sometimes, using an emotion list or chart to expand your emotional vocabulary is helpful beyond just good or bad. Recognizing more nuanced emotions like frustration, resentment, apprehension, or contentment can provide greater clarity. Also, be mindful of primary emotions, which are your initial reactions, versus secondary emotions, which are emotions you feel in response to the primary emotion, like feeling ashamed or angry. Now let's talk about describing emotions. Once you've identified an emotion, the next step is to put words on it using factual language. This is about communicating your experience, either to yourself or someone else, in a clear and non-judgmental way. Describing your emotions helps to reduce their intensity somewhat, as it brings in your reason mind. It also makes communicating your needs and experiences easier to others, improving your relationships. When describing an emotion, use specific emotion words. Instead of saying, "I feel bad," try, "I feel sad," "I feel anxious," or "I feel disappointed." Describe the intensity of the emotion. Is it mild, moderate, or intense? For example, "I feel slightly annoyed," "I feel moderately angry," or "I feel intensely furious." Describe the physical sensations and emotions you're experiencing. "I feel fear, and my hands are shaking, and my heart is racing. I feel sadness, and there's a heavy feeling in my chest." Again, describe the thoughts and urges associated with the emotion using factual language. When I feel angry, I have thoughts of unfairness and the urge to yell. When I feel anxious, I have thoughts that something bad will happen and the urge to avoid. Remember to use "I feel" statements, focusing on your internal experience rather than blaming others for your feelings. Identifying and describing your emotions work together. You better understand your emotional landscape by accurately identifying what you're feeling and then explaining it in detail. This skill improves with practice. Identify and describe your emotions throughout the day, even when not intense. You can use a diary card or a journal to help you track and tell your emotional experiences. With consistent practice, you'll become more adept at recognizing and understanding your emotions. This increased understanding is the crucial first step towards learning to regulate them effectively and build a more balanced emotional life. Identifying and describing emotions are fundamental skills for gaining mastery over one's emotional world. By understanding what one feels, one empowers oneself to respond skillfully. Thank you for exploring understanding emotions with us. The ability to name and describe your feelings is a powerful tool for change.
I love you, Dad, 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 I love my dad, 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 I love you, Dad, Dad.